It is the largest cash seizure in Miami-Dade police history. Over $24 million found inside the
1.8 million right here. The $20 bills section.
What could any sane person be doing with $330 million of cash? Well, that should be a question from the FBI to Floyd Mayweather after a CNN reporter reported that a whopping amount of cash was found in his Miami mansion. According to reports from CNN, the boxer's homes and companies were investigated and raided after he was found guilty of tax debts from his days of being an active boxer. The tax debt was coupled with several lawsuits and reports of owed debts, fraudulence, financial crimes, and other shady deals in cryptocurrency.
Money made all day. You know, right here, a light million. Over there, counting up another million over there. Walk with me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take you into my life. So Andrew Jackson, of course, is on the 20. Benjamin Franklin right here. You know, money made all day. We in the bank, doing what we do best, counting money.
Ordinarily, the FBI had tried to freeze his account over these issues, but it was soon realized that the boxing legend only leaves a little fraction of his wealth in the bank. This forced them to invade his homes in Miami and Las Vegas. His Las Vegas home was where he stayed more, hence there weren't too many incriminating things. The Miami mansion, however, was a den of crimes. After careful investigation, a secret room was found with so much security. This was what took the FBI hours to unlock. All the security men and workers in the building were handcuffed, as none of them claimed to know how to access the room. After hours of trying and using the best of their intelligence, they broke the door open and found the room where he kept so much cash, so much that they couldn't pack out of the house.
cash was behind this wall in the attic, packed in orange Home Depot buckets, 150 grand in.
While all these went on, Floyd Mayweather himself was nowhere to be found at the end. They locked the house, sent everyone out, and kept it on guard. Coupled with the cash, they found more incriminating documents, which forced them to call Floyd Mayweather for questioning, but he's yet to respond or release any statement on this. With the allegations mounting against him, there's every possibility that he ends up in court and eventually prison, except he's granted an unlikely bail money.
Money made, that's all I do is get money. Today is a rose gold day, as you can see.
Fans said a lot of things after this, with some even claiming he's got loads of fake cash in his custody. Floyd's finally getting raided by the feds, and it's about time. Looks like the king of cash has been caught with his hands in the cookie jar. Laugh my head out. $330 million in cash. That's cute. Guess Floyd's been watching too many money heist films, another fan wrote. Floyd's cash stash is almost as big as his ego. Guess he's been saving up for his next big mouth. The feds should just take all that cash and give it to people who actually need it, like, I don't know, maybe the homeless or something.
The $20 bills section. We like to call this the Andrew Jackson section, but I like to call it wallpaper. 200,000 in 20s.
The third commented, Floyd's house is like a real-life game of Monopoly, except instead of fake money, it's real cash that he probably didn't pay taxes on. I heard Floyd's cash stash is so big, it's got its own gravitational pull. Guess that's what happens when you're a master of the sweet science of money laundering. One fan who feels Mayweather is getting what's due for him quipped, Floyd's finally getting what's coming to him. All that trash talk and flaunting his wealth, now he's in trouble with the feds.
Like 1.8 million, you know how it is. Check it out. Let them know it's all hundreds.
Lastly, a funny added his comment saying, I wonder if Floyd's got a cash-only policy for his exhibition matches. Maybe that's why he's always so broke after a fight. The feds should just auction off all that cash and sell Floyd's money t-shirts. Proceeds can go to funding Floyd's next big ad campaign. The retired 50-0 boxing legend prided himself on his ability to generate hundreds of millions in the ring, and now that his career is done, continues to enjoy the fruits of his labor. Recently, The American posted a video in which He showed off a special Arnold Schwarzenegger watch, the one-of-a-kind biggest Chanel bag in the world, and numerous dollar bills, equating to 1.44 million euros in cash laid out on a table. Mayweather captioned the clip, "I was once told that the loudest person in the room is the weakest person in the room. Well, that works for the individuals that's doing something illegal. But in my case, I'm happy to flaunt my legal wealth and brag about being a black man that came from poverty, beat all odds, and not give a freaking about what anybody thinks. Happy 4th. This is my independence. Now let the fireworks begin." In addition, Mayweather also uploaded a simple image of himself with his money and directed a message specifically to his hat. Shortly after, he posed on the runway of an airport for the camera before zooming in on his custom-made private jet, which sat there ready to leave. It was a huge airliner with silver and gold coloring, and the huge letters TM'd, the Money Team, printed on the back wing. The jet also had Mayweather written on the side, and he shouted as he turned towards it, "Not bad for a high school dropout." Fans weren't as impressed as many may have thought, with one writing, "He is really insecure as hell."
Of course, in this world, I don't always play into, worry about what anyone says about me. But I wasn't doing nothing there. I said, let me have some fun. Let me play with the people.
Yeah.
And, actually, man, something I want to show you. Yeah, let me show you something.
Okay.
I
I like being educated.
Okay. Man, one thing we don't.
Another stated the same writing, "What a clown, the most insecure person I have ever seen." A fan went deeper into the post, adding, "Someone who has to flex is usually self-conscious and feels the need to flex to make themselves feel better in comparison to others. This guy is always flexing and is clearly self-conscious about not being able to read." One wrote, "Blood thinks he's inspirational." A fan joked, "Will Floyd ever be broke again?"
Really show account numbers. But man, last time I checked, it's still right there.
Ooh, hold on, let me get. Oh shit.
Man, it's still right there.
Oh shit.
I still got it.
Okay.
I still got it, just for the record. I still got it just for the record.
Okay. Damn. Shit, gonna be bullshitting.
I still got it just for the record. I still got the 100. Still got 100 million I ain't never even touched. That's just for the record.
Two fans were more positive, with the first pointing out, "Mayweather's success is a testament to his drive and skill. Dropping out didn't stop him from reaching the top. Impressive as always." A final fan concluded, "The greatest boxer of all time, showing what he's earned. Floyd the GOAT." Still, the boxer, who regularly flaunts his wealth, defended himself on social media recently, saying his empire is rock solid and the IRS just wants to be part of the Money May show.
Let's go. It's just for the record.
That's just for the record. That's crazy though that after all these years, they still.
It doesn't. The thing is this, man. You must realize this. Just about life. The thing is this. If you don't have no money, you ain't gonna have no money problems. See what I'm saying? For you to even have any money.
It was said that he even faked a tax receipt that he posted on his social media recently just to deceive the public. Mayweather's nickname Money aptly reflects his dominance in the boxing ring and his ability to generate immense wealth through his fights and ventures. However, Floyd Mayweather has publicly revealed that he has paid a whopping 8-figure sum in tax in the last year on social media. These
Or keep them talking about what you're doing. It's obvious you must making some noise some type of way. So I'm making some noise some type of way.
Always.
whether it's in the ring or out the ring. Like I showed the people, actually, I paid, I think it was in 2015, I think I paid him, that was just 3 checks, but gave him another check. I think I gave him over 30, like 34 million. That's what I paid in 2015.
Down here, look at the color up top. Time for me to go to bed. Time for me to go to bed. I'll see you guys real later.
Mayweather is known as one of the richest sports people in history, with his stunning exploits in the ring earning him some enormous fight purses, the fighter coining the nickname Money. Although retired from the professional game, Mayweather has returned to the ring for a series of exhibition fights as well as owning a number of businesses and multiple properties. Reports in December suggested that an agreement had been made to rematch Manny Pacquiao in a 2024 exhibition clash thought to be in Japan, as the two reignite their rivalry later this year.
After that.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he's in Nevada, so which is no state tax. So basically, all you have to do is give them their 33%.
Yeah.
Skip, I get it, and I get the fact like all they're gonna do is waste my money anyway, but that's not the way you do it.
That is not.
Mayweather, however, has spared no bones on social media by flaunting how much he has been earning by posting a picture of his tax check accompanied by a typically brash and posturing caption, "Just before I paid that light million and change for that little Super Bowl stuff I had." To pay the IRS, aka Uncle Sam, $18 million, he wrote on Instagram, "This is what I owed in taxes while I'm retired, so just imagine what I was paying when I was activated Mayweather as far back as 2017 as a result of the fake." Documents he presented told reporters he already took care of his taxes. "I ain't worried about that. I just showed you all a $100 million check. I didn't even cash on stage," he said, referring to a check from his fight against Pacquiao. "So we ain't tripping on."
These 4 special timepieces right here come as a package. Forbes just done a crazy story on the Hue collection. I need you guys to go check it out. Now, when I travel, I like to take 7 watches, 7 Ivy & Co watches. Now, I know in the past, I talked about 30 watches, 40 watches, but now it's all about the Hue collection and these 3 watches. Ivy & Co, let's go, the Hue.
His tax attorney did not immediately return a request seeking comment. It's unclear whether the internal has tried to withhold any of Mayweather's purse from the fight against McGregor. The agency does not comment on individual cases. Nevada boxing regulators did not immediately return a request for comment. Generally, the Internal Revenue Service freezes any collection activity as soon as a taxpayer contests a lien. According to Stephen A. Smith, Mayweather petitioned the DC-based U.S. tax court on April 13th to hear his case in Las Vegas. The petition process comes after a taxpayer and an Internal Revenue Service officer failed to reach an agreement over how a tax debt can be satisfied, said attorney Leighton Kohler, who is with the Las Vegas office of the Dickinson Wright firm and is not associated with the boxer's case.
Is wild.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention that could be proven, right? You just take the camera. You don't have to tell the audience it's sold out. Just take the camera and show us if it's sold out. I mean, it's as simple as doing that. Can I tell you one that's interesting? Floyd Mayweather, just before he came Floyd, he was Pretty Boy Floyd, in fact, at the time. The year was 2005. Portland, my hometown, and he fought Sean Bay Mitchell, who's a former world champion. So they fought
the tassel shorts.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Good memory, by the way. Gooseman promoted.
The appeals process may be buying Mayweather time to collect his millions from the August fight, and presumably use the money to pay the Internal Revenue Service. Kohler, who previously worked as an Internal Revenue Service senior revenue agent, said that tax judges travel to Las Vegas only once or twice a year, forcing taxpayers to wait 6 months to a year before their cases are heard. The lien for 2015 is just one of the tax cases in a series of tax liens filed by the Internal Revenue Service against Mayweather over the past decade. This can't be said of many of his previous opponents, including the notorious Conor McGregor, who was not found wanting in any of Ireland's documents since the same year. Also in the States, he's fought in the United States. He's said to be debt-free. As for Floyd Mayweather, two eras are associated with the boxing legend, the Pretty Boy era and the Money Mayweather era.
We had to pay, cut a $100 million check to the IRS. Yeah. Give him $100 million. Now, if someone in this camp introduced him to someone that knew the game and that could save him money, he would look at that as a business move.
These eras are different from each other in almost every sense. First is the boxing style that characterized each era. While the former was an era of boxing dominance, ferocity, and knockout punching power, the latter was an era of boxing intelligence, quotient, immense skill, and a watertight defense one. More thing that was also clear was the huge difference in the money made in both eras. Pretty Boy made decent money and was signed to Top Rank, but in the Money Mayweather era, the boxing legend made hundreds of millions of dollars, hence Pretty Bit was pretty decent with his taxes and law-abiding. But Money Mayweather was the fraudulent boxer that falsified tax documents and avoided paying taxes. But when talking about the exact period he began his money spree and his career began to flourish, Money Mayweather Floyd wasn't even in the best position to tell.
He has security. Well, if it don't work, at least got the money to pay him off. So I think it's a low risk, high reward for him. So I think in that situation, people with money like Mayweather, they'd be like, I'll.
Professional boxer Floyd Money Mayweather has reportedly resolved his tax bill of more than $22 million owed to the Internal Revenue Service paid from his winnings from the August 26th bout with Conor McGregor. The Blast reported, however, the strategy he and his attorney used to deal with the levy threatened by the Internal Revenue Service is worth analyzing to see what we can learn. According to ESPN, Mayweather filed a petition claiming his holdings were illiquid. So he offered payments to the Internal Revenue Service until he received payment for his fight from McGregor the following month.